had asked Luke this question about Atlanta's offense. Obviously, they've been very explosive this year. Is there one particular aspect that they're doing exceptionally well in previous seasons?
Well, I mean, you look at the things they're doing. They are doing a lot of good things. They're running the ball well, and they're throwing it well. I think it's going hand in hand. You know, when you watch them and they're doing some good things where they have success running it, their play action comes into play. And again, I think that's a big part of it. You're able to slow down the running game. You can slow the play action down. I mean, it goes hand in hand. And I think the quarterback is playing very well right now for them as well.
What do you think about the pro bowlers you guys got?
Oh, very happy for them. It's a good group of young men, guys that all play hard for us and do some good things, and deservedly so. There's a couple other guys that you'd always like to have a few more guys out there that deserve it. But again, it's just kind of part of the reflection of what's happened this year for us.
Kurt Coleman wouldn't argue for himself again, but is that
Oh,
one of
I'd
those
argue
guys?
for him. I would. I most certainly would. I think Bill, he's done some really good things the last 2 years he's been here for us. Been a big part of why we've had some success last year and why we're having some success this year. Not as great, but he's still playing very, very well, and he's still productive. And again, you'd love to see a guy like that get some consideration.
Why is your pass defense, even though they're 32nd in the league, but they're playing better lately? And why are they better since the last time you played the Falcons?
Well, I think a lot has to do with how well the young guys are developing, the continuity we've had in the secondary the last few weeks. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into why you have success and don't have success, and that's part of it. It's just we got young guys that are playing, they're learning, they're growing, they're developing. I think they're past the stage of being young. I think they've got some good experience now. Pass rush has been a lot more effective, and I think those things are part of why. And again, I think part of it too is we've been putting the last few games we've had success. Part of it is because we've been able to put ourselves in position where we know the opponent has to throw the ball.
Ron, with respect to the privacy of you and your medical team, when a player enters the concussion protocol, are they provided with information of long-term studies, or is that something that they seek out on their own?
That's something that they have to do with the doctors. That's what they do. I mean, I can't tell you what they talk about. I can't because I haven't been part of it. I just do what the doctors suggest and tell me, and we go from there.
Luke was saying, and jives, I think, with what you told us, but that it might be kind of a week-to-week thing.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. I mean, he and I talk a lot. He wants to play, and I told him I've got a lot of things that I've got to weigh, and that's where we leave it.
Any concern on Greg?
No, Greg. It's sore, and we want him to get as much treatment as possible. So we kept him inside today. Plus, he needs a little bit of rest as well. He's a veteran guy, and but he's I have no concern. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have a lot of concern for all those guys. Probably with the exception of Ryan Delaire.
Was that was that the same?
No, it
knee?
wasn't the same knee. So we're going to get them all checked out and see how things are. Yeah.
When will you make the decision on Luke for Saturday?
Probably tomorrow or Friday. Again, it's one of those things that we got him out there running around. He's doing a lot. He's very active in practice. He wants to do a lot. Probably trying to show me. But we got to do things the right way, and that's what I'm going to do.
You're still working mostly AJ though.
We're working them both at linebacker, at middle linebacker.
You say you listen to him and what he says, but is this a case where you sometimes have to disregard what the player says? Or?
Yes. Again, at the end of the day, there's a lot of information for me to gather. So I'm just, again, being smart, being prudent, and we'll make the right decision.
Sounds like you have some optimism where Charles is concerned.
Yes, very much so. Charles worked on the side, looked very good. We'll see how he is tomorrow morning, and if that pans out well, then good. We can hopefully get him out on the practice field with everybody, see how he handles that.
Did you have any thought about if Daryl's back, keeping that offensive line together, or we're just going to move?
It's tough. It's a good question because Daryl worked and Chris Scott went back in there and worked as well. So we have to really look at it. I mean, there's some really good continuity there, but it's good to know that we've got some options with some young guys that are playing very well right now.
Surprised might be kind of the wrong word, but are you pleasantly surprised with how well this particular group of linemen has clicked in the last couple weeks?
Sorta. I mean, it's a good group. I mean, if you look at those three guys that really they're still playing, those three guys have worked together, and that's a big part of it. Tyler's a tremendously smart young man who understands football and understands what his responsibilities are. Chris Scott is a very wily veteran for us who's played all 5 positions. So you're not going to have a lot of mistakes out of that group. You're really not, and that's what we've seen the last few weeks. We've seen them play very solid football together because again, as I said, you've got a good mix of guys that have 3 starters. Granted, 2 of them are playing different positions. You got a center that's smart, that knows it, and a guy, like I said, is a very wily vet for us. So we feel good about that group.
Sorry if you asked this yesterday, but have you ever seen a player have his face mask knocked off before?
No. I've seen guys where the buckles have broken. Bunches did 2 weeks ago, but not like that.
I don't know how your film's different from what we see on the television replay. Is if you had a close-up angle, what did it look like to you when that happened?
I really couldn't tell you. I mean, all I know is from seeing it live, it just looked kind of odd that when he came running to the sideline holding the mask, you're going, okay, that's really what happened. All right, it was different.
How was the energy level today on a pretty quick turnaround?
It was sluggish. It really was. And I told the guys I expected that and I anticipated that. But the biggest thing was to make sure they got the mental aspect of the game playing out today. That's probably the most important thing. We wanted to get them out, get them moving around, get the blood circulating. And then the biggest thing we talked about was getting them out of meetings early tonight so we can get them home and get them rested and start rehydrating and eating properly. More so than anything else, getting their rest.
You knew you were going to have some growing pains in the secondary this year, and then James went out early in Atlanta.
That was tough.
Still, what happened, though? Were you surprised,
Yes,
shocked?
I was disappointed because I thought the plan that we had, doing some of the things that we wanted to do, should have helped us. And unfortunately, we didn't execute as well as we would like to. And then, you always go back and say in retrospect, maybe we could have done something else too to help. But, with the guys we got, the way they've been playing, we feel very confident, that obviously we can do things better. All righty, cool. Thank you, guys.